We sort of had been targeting that tournament because it was at Madison Square Garden. That's one of those tournaments and venues that, you know, at least once in your career you should play there. And we just told the directors of the tournament that we're certainly interested in playing if there's ever an opening. And a couple of years ago, they talked to us about playing in 2012, 2013. So we told them absolutely sign us up, and here we are.
Did you get a chance to play there when you were?
I did. We played. Princeton played Ohio State, and North Carolina played Rutgers. It was a doubleheader back when they used to do these doubleheaders with just a couple of East Coast teams, and fantastic place to play. The fans feel like they're right on top of you. It's an old place. They probably remodeled it since I've played there, but you know, it's Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, can't get better than that. Talking about the freshman class, I know you're pretty high on a lot of guys. Langston, obviously, Victor.
Yeah.
You had a little kind of mini Rue out there, and Olaf.
Yeah.
Talk about how that kind of came to be with all those guys.
Yeah, so, you know, each year we've been trying to get better and better recruits, and you know, this year was no different, and we knew we were going to have to replace quite a few guys, and so we had 4 spots. Initially, we thought we'd only use 3. We saw Langston Morris Walker play from Berkeley, liked him, liked the way he played D. He's got a body, he can help out right away. Much better outside shot than we thought. And he's 6'4", so that's a nice guard replacement. And then we were recruiting Jamal Reed, you know, his junior year, and his senior year, you know, we were still in there. And he's from Atlanta, so it was kind of a long shot, but he came out and visited, liked it, liked Corvallis, and we ended up with him. He's a 6'6" small forward, one of the first real small forwards we have. We usually have an oversized or an undersized person playing that.
Kind of a more powerful guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But he's sort of good from 17 feet and in, can score around the basket, high basketball IQ, and probably could play some guard if he wanted to. And then Victor Robbins was the third piece of the puzzle. We got him late. You know, we had targeted him early after his AAU season last summer. And there were questions about his eligibility, and we just kind of stayed in there with him, hoping that he'd become eligible. And then once he got eligible, we got him up for a visit, and he committed. And that was going to be it. And then we got a call from Ruland's family saying that Olaf was thinking about coming to college, and you know, he took a little different route than Ruland. He went right out of high school into a professional training ground in Spain and was going to work his way up. And I think, you know, he saw his brother's development from having played college ball here, and sort of thought about coming over. And once we heard that, we just said, hey man, you know, you know this place, you know us, come on over. And I don't know if you got a chance to watch him, but he is a different player than Ruland. He's got scoring on his mind. I mean, we used to have to beg Ruland to score points.
He'll beat him in Horace every time.
Oh yeah. He's a terrific shooter, and he's got a knack for putting the ball in the basket.
Realistically, though, how much playing time are those guys going to get?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, so we've got 8 guys returning, 4 freshmen, so we got 12 guys. I think our rotation's going to be 9, hopefully maybe 10 if you count in some foul trouble there. So, but I think any of those 4 could be 2 of the guys who are in the rotation. Okay. And hopefully we'll be in a position where we can give them some playing time in all of the non-conference games just to get them ready, because those guys are the future, and let's face it.
Yeah, how do you approach that, the coaching to a freshman class? I mean, you kind of driving right in on them, or you kind of give them a little leeway? How do you approach that?
You know, the way we do it here is we give them as much as they can take. And then once they get full, we pull back, and it's kind of like the proverbial mouth to a fire hose for them. We just until they say stop, and then we let them digest that, and then we right back at it. And this group, it's interesting, very high basketball IQ group, all 4 of them. So they've been able to really absorb a lot quickly. And then you throw on top of the fact that we got a chance to go to Europe together, that 3 of them have gotten playing experience already. It just makes for a great situation for those freshmen.
Yeah, how much of an adjustment is that? And Victor mentioned something about like, going up against grown men. You won't necessarily in the conference or
Yeah.
just in league play, but some of these guys have been around.
Oh man, it was a great experience for us because we all know who've played that it doesn't matter the level of the guy you're playing against. When you're playing against a 24-year-old or 27-year-old guy who's a pro, they can play. You can't be over there and be a professional and not be able to play. And there's what we call grown man strength, grown man attitude, and then grown man skill. Those guys had to match up with that every single night that we played. So I think the freshmen got a nice rude awakening to what college basketball, a little taste of what it was going to be like.
Downstairs talking about necessarily you won't have one real go-to guy to be the leading scorer all the time, but one of the guys that Phil's going to do a piece on for the preseason show is Angus. I thought he looked bigger than before, but he says probably not. But
yeah,
just to him,
I think he's more cut and he's walking around with a lot more confidence. Easily one of the hardest workers on, if not the hardest worker on the team. He made some huge strides at the end of the season last year. They gave him the confidence to feel like if he put some more work in during the summer, he could be one of the better post players in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, he's so strong, and he's going to be stronger than most guys you're going to go up against in league or out of league. I mean, how does he kind of hone that in and use that, not fouling out or not playing out of control? I mean,
yeah, I think a lot has to do with mentally. He feels like he should be on the court the whole time, and he won't make those sort of plays that he made that got him in foul trouble. When we first got him, he had only been playing organized basketball for 4 or 5 years, so it was a big transition for him to go from Australia to high school in the United States, then to college in the United States, and I just think the light bulbs come on for him.
And he was kind of running the ship out here. We're asking if we needed more guys. He's kind of like the beneficial team leader you have nowadays.
Yeah, he's a captain, and he is obviously the guys respect him. He's a hard worker, but he's got leadership skills. He knows what we need, and he's going to help us get it.
Goal-wise, I know CBI is not in your goal anymore. The NITs, that's great, but main goal is the big dance.
Exactly, Nick. I mean, if you're at an elite high major school and an elite high major conference, your goal is to get to the NCAA tournament every year, and that's what we're shooting for. And each year we've raised that bar higher. We want to win more than 21 games that we won last year. We want to not lose as many games as we did last year. So all of those things will help you achieve your goal of getting to the NCAA tournament.
In some of those games, like you mentioned, I mean, you lost some tight ones there, where if you get a few more hunkered down.
Yeah, it felt like we've been using the number 7 games we lost by 5 points or less, and if we can shore up our defense, because I think our offense is fine, we shore up our defense so that we're making 4 more stops a game. You win half those games, if not all of them.
Yeah. Again, Pac-12, I know you haven't looked at it quite yet, but how do you just kind of break it down?
Yeah, just from the stuff I've been reading and feel from last year, you got to have Arizona and UCLA at the top there, and Stanford's got to be a close third, if not in that top group. And then after that, I think Cal and Washington will have an opportunity, and then after that it's anybody's guess who could be next, and we certainly want to consider ourselves in that position, if not higher.